Hello, everybody. My name is Michaela Schernick, and I am your Students Photography 1 teacher. I'm really sorry that I could not be there in person to meet you guys tonight. I had some childcare timing conflict issues, and I'm recording this video so that you have all the information I would have given you in person. So to start here on the screen, I have on the left-hand side is the schedule for this evening in case you don't already have it. And then on the right side, so let me move myself. On the right side is my email. That's the best one to contact me at. I'm also available through Talking Points if you ever have any questions or need anything. This is my teaching schedule for the year. And I'm going to kind of speed run through some of my own background. So I am from Florida. I grew up in the upper Panhandle area. I was born in Pensacola, which is along the Gulf Coast. And then I moved with my family to Virginia when I was in high school. And then this is my family, the family I have created. So this is my husband, Charlie. He is also a teacher. He teaches at Lake Braddock Secondary School and he teaches history. It is part of the reason I'm not able to be there with you guys tonight. His back to school this year happened to be on the same day and the same time. But anyway, this is our family. This is Augie. He turned 4 this year. And then this is our dog, Daphne. These are some of my hobbies and interests. These days, I just kind of like to do anything that is going to help me relax and unwind day to day and over the weekends. For school, I went to George Mason University. I got my BFA in graphic design. That's initially what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. I have continued to work as a designer in varying degrees of part-time to full-time since 2018. And then I went back to Mason to get my master's degree in art education. And that brings us to here, my teaching background. So I've been teaching since 2021. I started when I was in grad school. I taught through Mason Community Arts Academy, various ages, primarily in visual arts. Then I started working with Fairfax County last year in 2024. I was working at Thomas Jefferson High School teaching digital art and photo, and I was also teaching here at Marshall. This year, our photography program grew so much that I was able to get full-time just here at Marshall High School. So I teach mostly photography 1, but I do also teach one section of ceramics here. So in photography 1, we like to give kids a wide variety of experiences. So we do cover digital photography, we do film photography, we do have a fully functioning darkroom here at Marshall, which is amazing. We do alternative processes like cyanotypes, pinhole cameras, and things like that. For software in the course, we do use the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, and every art student here at Marshall gets access to this. So in photography, we primarily use Lightroom for photo editing, but we will get into Photoshop a bit later in the year. There is an art fee for this course. It is $80. There is a breakdown here if you're interested of what, how we get to that number for this class. That fee is payable through My School Bucks. That's the best way to pay this fee. You can check. It may or may not be loaded into My School Bucks yet. It does typically take a week or two or a few after the start of school, just because of all the schedule changes that happen at the beginning of the year. If you have questions about this, you can talk to me or your student's counselor. One thing I do like to also mention that if your child is on free and reduced lunch, this fee can be waived for them. but you just need to make sure that you have applied for this current school year. There is a link here in this slideshow that you can click on, and it'll take you to the website to do that. So in my class, and I cover this with students as well, I really emphasize our classroom community. And it's my goal as their teacher to create a welcoming and supportive environment where everybody feels safe, respected, and successful. And we talk about in class how that's a, it's a want and a wish from me, but it's really a group effort to make that happen. So some of the expectations that we talk about are respect for ourselves, for others, for the space that we're in, for the equipment that we're using, um, just trying their best every single day, helping each other. I don't allow food or drinks near the computers or in the dark room. No food with nuts for those to protect those that have allergies. One thing that is slightly different this year in terms of classroom expectations are the phones. So phones are not allowed to be used bell to bell. They can have them out in the cafeteria during lunch. But with photography, they are expected to do homework, and their homework is going to be taking pictures. So they will need to upload those pictures to their drive before they come to school. If they need help with this, I'm available like before the first bell rings, and I'm also available after school if for whatever reason they need help figuring it out or there's some kind of technical issue. I can help them work through it at those times, but during class, I'm not able to. So if you have any questions about that, you can contact me, of course. We do allow students to go out in groups later in the year to take photos around the school. So we talk about sort of the expectations and how this is a privilege for them to be able to do so. And we do have a set of guidelines for them to follow and an agreement for them to sign before we do that. So for Schoology, navigating Schoology, this is how it looks. This is what you would see or your student sees when they go to my class Schoology page. So over on the right, we have upcoming assignments, so due dates for homeworks and things. There's a link here at the very top for their folders in Google Drive. The course syllabus is right here in the course information tab. I'm also going to post this video here in case you need to refer back to it. And then here is the link to our daily agenda. So when kids click on that link, it takes them to this first slide, and they click on today's date, and it takes them to their daily agenda slide for that day. So I'll have everything linked in this slide that we're covering so kids can follow along if they prefer to see it on their own screens as opposed to just being on the board. If they need to refer back to it, they can. If they're absent, they can come to this and know exactly what we did. And then for assignments and things, I organize things by quarter. So I'll have a folder. This is an example for quarter one. And in that folder, there will be subfolders for each project. And in that, I will put things like important links that were relevant to the assignment, slideshows we went over for that project, and oftentimes I will have them submit in Schoology. So if that is the case, there will be a submission link there as well. So for grading, they're formative assignments like things like planning, mood boards, research, their studio practice, which is their day-to-day performance in class, and also their homework is all weighted at 30%. We do this year, we are now required to give homework, which is worth 10% of their formative grade. So formative work cannot be resubmitted after quarter one. But that is different than summative work. So summative is worth 70% of their grade. So that's final projects, reflections, artist statements. And as long as they submit an attempt within the quarter it was assigned, they can remediate that work throughout the rest of the year. But if they make no attempt, what you would see in the grade book is not turned in, or NTI. After the end of the quarter, that will turn into a no longer accepted if they do not make that first initial attempt on that assignment. So we do process portfolios and websites, and that's how students will track their learning and also learn how to present their artwork. So here are some examples of that. And then the rest of the slideshow, I'm really clicking through here because we're running out of time. It's just sort of examples of things that they do in class. So this is one of our first darkroom assignments, photograms. Here is some more photo assignments. I'm just clicking through them really fast because we're out of time. Please complete the digital consent form for your child. This is a QR code link you can scan to that. This gives them access to all the technology they need in school. You can also access this through Parent View. We do have an art club here. They can join using this code. They can join our Schoology page. We do have a photo club. So if your student is interested in joining photo club, they can also access our Schoology page using this link. We're going to get this up and running around the first week of October. There's a National Art Honors Society for students grades 10 through 12. They have to have at least be enrolled in one art class and have a B+. We're going to send more information about this a little bit later. And then this is the last slide I have for you. So there's, again, sort of an overview of the clubs that we have here. We are doing field trips this year. So one of them is we're still planning the logistics. We are trying to go to New York here at some point in the fall. That one is kind of not sure. Well, I'm going to send more information out as needed about that, but we will definitely be going to DC in the spring. So if you're at all interested in chaperoning any of these field trips, please feel free to contact me and just let me know, and I'll reach out to you with more information or when those times come. All right. Oh, sorry, that was not the last slide. This was. Also, we do allow students to exhibit their work. They have a couple of opportunities throughout the year. There's a mid-year art show for all students, and then there's also a pyramid show, which includes work all the way from elementary school, middle schools, and this high school. So that was a lot. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions or you want to contact me, please feel free to do so. I'm really excited I've met all of your kids so far, and they're honestly really amazing. I feel very lucky to be their photo teacher, and I know we're going to have an awesome year. So thank you.